Blasphemous 2, or as I like to call it, Beat Yo Blasphemous 2, is one hell of an experience. This Metroidvania is brutal, terrifyingly beautiful,
With each tremor, these merciless rocks sink deeper into my flesh.
and fun as hell to play. For me, it's easily one of the best games of 2023, and I got hooked on the mix of platforming through hauntingly gorgeous landscapes, combat against twisted enemies and bosses, and intriguing NPCs who assist you on your journey, all while trying to figure out what the hell is happening in its cryptic and bizarre world. The atmosphere is chock full of religious nuances, dark fates, and curious wonder, and boy, is it a sight to behold. I personally love grim ancient fantasy settings, and the devs, aptly named the Game Kitchen, were cooking their asses off because they nailed it here. The visual design is stunning. The theme is such a macabre vibe, and I look forward to discovering every odd character and biome it had to offer, as it constantly left me in awe. It has a gorgeous aesthetic and its beautiful pixel art, which extends to the interconnected levels and characters. The enemies all look fantastic, and I love how the larger the enemy or NPC, the higher the amount of detail, with the bosses absolutely taking the cake with how amazing they present. They are hideous and beautiful at the same time, kind of like the kid with the face only a mother could love. It doesn't stop with the mobs, as the theme spills over into the NPCs as well. In this world, this is just another Monday. The environments are also phenomenal, as the different zones have their own morbid aesthetic. From giant sand statues frozen in horror to castles with paintings that come to life, it's all pleasing to the eye and kept my interest peaked, as there are so many minor details hidden throughout each zone. I also think that the animation in Blasphemous 2 is extremely polished, and when striking enemies down, they have really detailed death animations that make each kill feel rewarding. For me, it didn't matter how many times I killed the same enemy. I love to see how they die every time, even if it was the same death animation. It's pretty sick. There's even a boss that when the health gets low, he pulls a body on a stick off his back and eats it down like a damn kebab. And it's so epic and brutal. They also include gorgeously animated cutscenes that are really high end and polished. I was actually impressed at the level of detail included in each, and think they added a nuanced layer to the already amazing pixel work. I really enjoyed the soundtrack and audio when playing as well, with flamenco guitar strumming an almost soothing tone. While the voice acting and sound effects are top notch. There's an ethereal tone to a lot of the sounds that lend well to the feeling of being in a foreign world that you really don't understand, with chimes and gongs indicating new areas or changes in the environment, such as platforms materializing. Smacking enemies with weapons gives a great crunching and wet flesh sounds, and effects sound crisp. The voice acting as well is so well done. I never skipped forward through any conversation or dialogue option. Every line drives the stakes higher and makes the situations feel more dire.
Uncover the lie that my shell conceals, for I am only blood and bones.
The combat is solid, and there's a nice variety of abilities to keep things fresh. You gain access over time to 3 weapons, each with their own skill trees and movesets. They essentially break down into slow, medium, and fast attack, while also allowing for different interactions in the world and are vital to many of the platforming sections, which require you to switch between them on the fly as necessary. And when that happens, it's some of my favorite platforming in the game. I think that the combination of moves per weapon is more than adequate to include charge moves, aerial moves, and button combo sequences to keep things fresh. You also have several ways to boost your abilities, and there's little options you can do for like customization that includes buffs from altar pieces and rosary beads, and also access to spells known as prayer. And let me tell you, you'll need every tool in your arsenal to defeat some of the tougher enemy gauntlets you're going to face. Now, the bosses are a blast to battle, and they are as deadly as they are beautiful to behold. The mechanics are different enough for each, but mostly rely on the tried and true dodge/parry, which in some cases feels so epic when you get it right. The platforming was actually hella fun, and I enjoyed the steady increase in challenge as I progressed. You'll start with basic maneuvers like this, and get to the point where you need keen timing and reflexes like this. with it never feeling too difficult to overcome any one obstacle, but making it feel so satisfying when you nail it. The controls are tight and feel very responsive, and that makes the platforming not feel like a chore, which sometimes in games that really fucking suck, but not here. In the end, this game is like an ancient divine painting that came to life and wants to murder you while whispering sweet nothings in your ear to the sound of a Spanish guitar. If that sounds like your jam, then I highly recommend taking a stab at it, because in my opinion, this is the Metroidvania to play right now. Blasphemous 2 does so much at such a high level, I feel it's hard to not be impressed with what they've accomplished here. After beating it, I got about 80% of the way through the game, and that took me just over 20 hours, so you're gonna get a good amount of content, I would say. Can't recommend it enough. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the appropriate buttons below, and I will see you in the next one.